Some new developments in that second week of the trial of former Clinton campaign attorney Michael Sussman. FBI agents now saying they believe the debunked allegations of Donald Trump having a back channel with a Russian bank originated from the Justice Department, when that narrative reportedly came from Sussman.
We'll bring our panelists back in. Donna Jackson, Barack Lurie, Scott Walker, patiently sticking around, and we do appreciate that. Governor, I'll go and start with you again on this one. Testimony will continue today in the Sussman trial. Obviously not as entertaining, if you will, of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. However, much more major, and especially as this unfolds and more come to testify. Do you think more heads will roll as this continues on?
Well, they should. This is a much bigger scandal than that other trial because it involves not only the Clinton campaign, but arguably some of the highest offices in the land. This is something that goes beyond just the campaign to top law enforcement officials within President Obama and Vice President then Biden's administration, using the tools of these high offices in the federal government as part of a political ploy to help the Clinton campaign. This is a scandal that will only grow. And the American people, just as they're outraged about high gas prices, should be equally outraged about this scandal as well.
Yeah. Barack, when you look at sort of the players in mind here, too, the FBI, the DOJ, top political candidates, these are folks who you would hope to be able to trust, right? Has this trial sort of exposed a lack of trust between the American people and these officials?
Well, it sure has, and it sure should. The fact is that we now know that the FBI was really taking a backseat here at best. They were incompetent at best, but more likely collaborating with the Hillary Clinton campaign to push this false narrative against Donald Trump. And Sussman has so indicated, and now is invoking Hillary Clinton as actually authorizing this whole thing. And what's even more shocking and shameful is how the left-leaning media, MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, and so forth, are absolutely silent about this particular issue. Now, they will eventually have to talk about it, just like they eventually had to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop. But this is very shocking, and it will expose all this horrific stuff happening at the top.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to point out, is that if it depends on what network you're watching. If you're watching a completely different network, you don't even know this trial is happening. And
Right.
if you know the trial is happening, you don't know who Sussman is. You don't know any of these FBI officials or what this whole thing is about. And that's an unfortunate part. But that's just really the world we live in now, where you can pick whichever media outlet you want. I want to switch gears if I can. Obviously, primary day, and you guys have been on board for this. And Donna, I'll go to you on it. But just moments ago, as promised, Georgia Senate candidate who should be flying right through the primary, Herschel Walker, speaking on the importance of President Trump and the upcoming general election for Republicans. We have that sound. Here's that.
And that's what people want me to keep saying. Is he not because President Trump has been more than just a friend. You know, I've known him since 1982. And I said, I want him to come down. I want all Republicans. When I win this, I want all Republicans to come down and campaign for him, because we got to bring this party together. Everyone knows that. You know, there's no sense in us fighting about it. Right now, what's going on in the state of Georgia, what's going on in this country, we can't live like this. And let's be honest, with this inflation the way it is, and with you know, right now, the border, let's be honest. And I said, that's what we got to do. The only way we're going to get it done is to quit fighting among ourselves. You know, I learned from.
So again, that's Herschel Walker there, Senate candidate there, running obviously in primary. He's going to sail through that. In the general, he would face Raphael Warnock, but has the backing of President Trump. But again, what stood out to me, Donna, is that he talks about the separation of Americans. And I wonder this, just posing this question to you, is it possible that crises that every American is facing may unite the country? Gas prices, baby formula shortage, inflation at a 40-year high, because it's not political rhetoric that's bringing us together right now.
It's absolutely, and it's already uniting the country. The Republican Party is not as divided as everyone wants to make it out to be. But here's the issue. People care about their lives. People care about being able to feed their babies. People care about being able to pay their bills and not slip into poverty. And that's what this president in this administration has deliberately done. You know, from day one, he has established this thing where he wanted to create division, calling people Jim Crow 2.0 and Bo Connor. But people understand what's going on, happening to them today. And I think that the country is more united on both sides of the aisles than people really realize. And you're going to see that in this upcoming elections.
Well, when you hear of families creating Facebook groups to get baby formula out to different families, that is a sign that we are reunited and we'd like to help despite political lines or affiliations. Governor Walker, I will ask you for your take, though, on where really the president stands when it comes to uniting the country. He ran on that promise that he would bring people together. And we've heard recently this phrase of ultra MAGA side of Republican voters and the, you know, what was it, Trump super MAGA king.
Yeah,
I'm butchering it, but we know what I'm talking about here. Is that a way to reunite the country?
No, and he's been a part of this division from day one. You know, the Marxists who drove many of the riots and protests first on campus and across the country, he's kind of handed his agenda over to the far radical left. They want to divide America. They want to pit one group of us versus another, calling people sexist, racist, Neanderthals, you name it. The better message as conservatives is we do want to unite America. We don't care whether you're black or white, rich or poor, young or old, whether you were born here or legally came here from somewhere else. We want everyone to have the same freedoms and same opportunities. I think that's what Herschel Walker was just talking about. And I hope President Trump going into the fall will do what he did in Virginia, and that is encourage people to flood the system, to get out and get as many people to vote as possible. We're not only going to cure Republicans and conservatives. I think the more people look at this crisis we face, they're going to get people across the board out.
Well, we'll find out today, big primary day, 5 states, big focus, though, primarily there in Georgia. A lot going on, and also a lot of people paying attention to Trump-backed candidates. Donna Jackson, Brock Lurie, Scott Walker. Governor, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming on. We do appreciate that.